Welcome back with Life and with Keisha Niche. And today I'm going to be the one that starts off the conversation as far as asking the question so that Niche can go into details. So, the topic of today's episode is going to be life after husband. What are we going to do? Are we going to date with kids? Or are we just going to date and leave the kids with the dad? Yeah, like what are we gonna do?
All right. So speaking of that, so last year for about 8 months, me and my husband separated. We had called it quits. We were going to get divorced, filed for divorce, signed the paperwork and everything. And during that midst of us being separated for those 8 months, I moved out. I stayed with my parents. And he stayed in the house that we had. And I had the children most of the time because,
Mhm.
as moms naturally, we're used to doing their schoolwork, making sure they go to school and stuff like that. So during the week, I was working from home at that time too, and so my mom would take my kids to school and bring them, back to the house for me. She did that for me because I couldn't do it since I was working from the house. And on the weekends, that would be dad's turn. So while we were separated, he would have them every weekends. That would give me a break, and I had them during the week. And then it was sometimes where if he was off work and stuff, then he would probably keep them a couple of days during the week and take them, back and forth to school. But
Mhm.
during that separation, we both dated. He dated someone different. I dated someone new. And it definitely was different because we weren't divorced, but that was like in the works. So
Mhm.
it was definitely a difference. Like I definitely was honest when I was dating, letting them know like I'm still married. We're in the process of going through a divorce and stuff like that. We are separated. And I felt like there was nothing to lose by not being honest about my situation. So it's like you either gonna roll with it or you're not. But I gave them that option, and let them know I have kids and stuff like that. So I feel like if we were to really call it quits and just be done completely, I probably would date, but I don't know if I would be serious. I don't know if I want to get married again and go through that whole process and just be serious because marriage is hard work. And
Mhm.
next year it'll be 10 years that we've been married, which probably wouldn't have been if we would have finalized the divorce. But it's hard work. It's not easy. So I feel like I probably would date, but it wouldn't be nothing serious. And, I didn't introduce who I was dating to my kids or nothing like that because, like I said, I
Okay.
was still married. And even though we were, potentially getting divorced, because, like I said, I filed and we signed, um, I just wasn't sure if that was the route that I wanted to go permanently. So I was like,
Mhm.
there's no need for me to introduce my kids to someone, and they didn't even know I was dating. Like they didn't know I was
Mhm.
dating. They never got to meet them or anything like that.
That's a
Now,
good thing.
it is a good thing. Now, on the opposite end,
Mhm.
the person that my husband was dating, they did meet because he had them introduced, which I was not okay with at all because
Right.
I felt like I respected him by not introducing kids to someone new, and I felt like it should have been the same respect both ways.
Mhm.
But you can't control what other people do, so
Hmm.
to each his own. But right, you can't control what people do,
You
so
already know I
it
got
took
it
a
coming
minute
over here
because
hard.
yeah, and it took a minute because, like I say, even though I was dating, the kids didn't know I was dating, so it was nothing for
Right.
me to go back and tell him. Where opposite was how from them was how I found out he was seeing someone else because
Mhm.
they had
Cause
met
kids talk,
right kids talk,
and
and
they gonna tell
so
their mom.
right, and so eventually he did know that I was seeing someone, but that was because I told him. It wasn't because of the kids. Like I said, my
Mm.
kids never met who I was talking to. So that was a whole thing. And then at the end, like even with the dating process, I was just like, it's nothing out here. And it's kind of like the devil you know better
Mhm.
than the devil you don't. So it was like at this point, if I do decide to go through with it, I probably would still date, but not take nobody serious and just kind of do my own thing. I'm not introducing them to my kids. I'm not, doing all that unless it became something serious, but not serious up to marriage. Because I'm like, I don't know if I want to go down that road again.
Mhm.
How people get married and divorced 4 or 5 times. I ain't got that in me. I ain't got that in me. So I'm like, it's gonna be like a one and done situation. I don't even like.
Mhm.
Yeah, I doubt it ever be a second time around. So yeah, we separated for 8 months. And then at the end of it, we just decided to work it out, not necessarily for the kids, but because we still loved each other. and we
Mhm.
went through a really rough patch, which led me to leaving in the first place. Um, but as time went on and stuff, and I actually got to see him change, not just to get me back, but he was recognizing the things that he needed to change within himself
Mhm.
and actually work, doing the work. So that's what kind of got me to come back and say, like, okay, let's make it work. Well, get rid of, even though I still got a copy of my divorce papers. I still got
Gotta
my
get that
copy.
copy.
Yeah, I still got my copy. Like, I'm not playing, but I just like I said, being as though I seen the change in him, it kind of helped me come back. And it was change. I had to make changes on my part too. I'm not going to put it all on him because it takes two. So I had to make some changes on my own to, make it work and stuff. So,
Right.
that's my spiel. I don't know if y'all ever separated or went through a rough patch, but I know I
We
did
haven't.
for 8 years.
Um, we never did. We went straight through. Like every relationship, you got your bumps and rules and all this type of stuff. It was mainly like family, so
Hmm.
that's what was coming in between us. What he was doing, what I was doing. Not really too much what I was doing. It was more like him, but like,
Right. 'Cause a lot of times it is more them than us.
okay. Um, and well, I fell in love with my husband because first of all, like I said before, we met in college, and I found out that he was like a family oriented person, and that was good for me because I was family oriented because everybody knows I was a babysitter of the family. So I had, all the babies, before I, had mine,
Hmm.
but our family was also a tight knit family, right? So I was always with my family. It don't matter, like every day, all day, same stuff all over again. But again, like on Sundays, we would go to grandma's house and we would have Sunday dinners over there. And then, as time went on, stuff, everybody started doing their own stuff. They've been growing up and, having their own little families and doing their own little traditional things. But that's what made me, and him on his behalf gravitate to me and because we family oriented and I had a tight knit family. And even when I was like, dating him, I still had my little brother, because, he's kind of basically the little man of the house, and we were close. So everything he knew was Keish. So I, got his blessings and asked him, how did he like my boyfriend at the time? Had his little input in it. So, and, we got that respect for each other. My sisters didn't do that to nobody, not even my mom. But I felt that I did that because I felt like, me and my brother had that connection and I didn't want him to feel like some man is coming in between me and him. Because for me, having that experience with my sisters, they always had, their little significant other come between our relationship, and I never wanted that. So that's why I always thought I'm the opposite. So, and I'm like, I don't know where I came from, but I tend to keep things tight. You know what I'm saying? So, until this day, me and my brother still close. You know what I'm saying? If he need advice or whatever, first thing he called is Keish. Like, not to call myself a thing, but first person he calling is me. So, yeah. So we got that respect for each other. The other thing is, we was together for like what 2 to 3 years before we started having our kids. But like I said, the bumps in the road was basically family. Like it was times where like because we were so tight, he didn't know how to like be like, okay, I'm grown now. Like this is my family now. So you know what I'm saying. So that was the part that was interfering with us. Like that's why I said like even though they're not outside people, quote unquote, it's still family, but it was still, outside people because it was outside of our relationship.
Hmm.
So that's where that came from. So we made it through that crap. We just, well for me, I just, block people and shut people out. So but to go back to answer my question originally, um, like if we was to divorce, like you said, I don't know why you said 4 or 5 times, but that's a little bit much. About this marriage, I know you just throwing
Married
out
that much,
numbers.
like you married 4 and 5 times. Like I can't do that. Mm-mm.
I'm not even doing it the second time because, like you
That's
said,
what I'm
it's
saying.
too much work. Like I
It
took too much
is.
time to, put the work in, put that foundation,
Mhm.
to build and work that way up for him to be, you know, uh, not to say he wasn't the characteristics that I saw in him in the first place, but like to make it tight and right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, it's just the consistency, things like that. Like you said, it's a work in progress. Everybody working and doing what they need to do. If it wasn't, a potential or if something I felt like it was not worth it, I'll be out too. Like, peace out, But I mean, I ain't saying it wasn't times I ain't say that. But we didn't go all the way like niche, just signing divorce papers and stuff. But um but yeah, so like for me, like I said, to answer my question, I would not. First of all, we made a pact. Okay, people might think we crazy and this and that and the third, but he like, I don't want no another dude around my kids. First of all, to bring the root to it, because I was about to go back to the roots. I
Mhm.
was in that situation,
Mhm.
and I hated it, and yeah, I didn't like it because I felt like when you have another person in coming in, it's hard to be accepted for me anyway. I'm not a person where I'm going to automatically accept you in my life. You have to show me things that I can say, okay, these qualifications, you got to show these characteristics. If I can see, first of all, once you open up your mouth and you just start talking, I can see things right through you. You don't even know. Like, I think that's my God-given gift.
Mhm.
um and nobody gonna take that from me. So and then you start showing me that you're not good enough. That's where it just, you don't have no type of respect at all. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So by me being in that situation, I would never. And I just had this conversation with my daughters yesterday, like literally. I'm like, if you feel like you write this list and you got this list that you really want this to be these characteristics in this man, don't settle for less.
Mhm.
Like, if you see signs, do not ignore them, like run. You know what I'm saying? So saying that, that's why, like, my experience is that way. Like, I'm never doing that. Like, I just can't, and I don't want my kids feeling a different way. Like, um oh, this man came in my life and doing this. First of all, I feel as though, like, because I was in that situation, and I'm not saying all men is like that, because there's some good men out there, but that's not for me. You know what I'm saying? And certain things could be for some other people, but that's not for me. um but I feel as though, like, my kids had their own father. You can't come in here and step in my life and help me raise my kids who already have a father, whether we together or not. He's still gonna be there. I don't have the time for the animosity. I don't have the time for y'all going bickering back and forth when out trying to do each other. Okay, you bought my daughter sneakers, well, I'm gonna buy these ones because these $200 more. Like, I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. I feel like that's drama. I don't want no chaos. I don't want, not to say that's the reason why I'm still with my husband, because that's not the reason. Because I can go today and tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I could be like, peace out. But that's not where we at, as far as like the dynamics that I'm trying to, build for our family. Or that's not the dynamics that, like, he treating me bad and this, and I'm just still sticking around, because that's not the case.
Mhm.
Um, what I'm saying here is, I don't have the time to put in all those years that I done, have, with him and grow with him, and to now put another 10 to 20 years on another man where, I'm going to be up in age. Like, I don't have time for that.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, I just don't have time for that. And like, for me, like, even if we was to get divorced, and I thought about it, like, as far as, like, I just think about stuff like that, like, what if stuff don't happen and this don't go to, because I always think in the future anyway. So, um, I was like, okay, so if we do get divorced, like, what's going to go on with the kids or whatever? And this, and they're like, am I going to have both of the kids to be doing the same thing I'm doing now, like raising them, and and you just living your own free life, or am I going to be free and I can just throw you a couple money, you know what I'm saying, for child support, whatever, but it ain't gonna be no paper because I'm gonna take care of my kids. Like we have a lot of stuff like in place, like, but I told him like, listen, if it had to go to that point, the court system right there, you know what I'm saying. but but like, cause they make promises and stuff like, oh, well, I'm
Right.
gonna still be there. I'm gonna take care of these kids and this and that and the third. Yeah, as soon as you stop, you know, court right there. You know what I'm saying? Cause you're gonna have a lot more than child support to be paying. Okay, I'm just gonna let you know, but it ain't just gonna be that. But like for real, at the same time, like, yeah. So I thought about that, like, am I gonna be the one that's gonna be nilly dilly? You know what I'm saying? Like just,
Mhm.
and I ain't saying like still dating because I don't have time for that either. Like I said, like dating and everything that's off the market. Like I just would be, I would just replace him with peace, peace, insanity. Like just doing me. Like, but getting down to business. You know what I'm saying? Like doing some real boss shit. Like I'm not gonna be dealing with the stupid because like you said it's crazy out in these streets
It is.
and
It
it
really
and
is.
these guys are not you know I feel as though I was blessed with the kind of guy I got, okay. um I think I did, pray on him to pray about it. God gave me a good man. Even my family says he's a good man. I know he's a good man. Um, you
Mine
know,
is good too. He's just a pain in the ass, and I think
I was
because
gonna say that sometimes
he,
they do stupid shit.
yeah, and I think because we had different backgrounds. Like my parents are married, and even though his parents were married, they weren't together. Like they were
Hmm.
separated, so he didn't really grow up in like a two-parent household like I did.
Same with
So
me.
right,
I don't have a two-parent household. My husband, had his, biological mom and dad and stuff like that. And I was thinking about that too, like, because I'm also teaching my kids, like, break these cycles too. And I was telling them, like,
mhm,
please follow mommy footsteps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want y'all to be baby mamas. That's why I say if you see these red flags that you do not like, don't settle for less because you're just going to be disappointed at the end. You just settling for what you think is out there. But with those characteristics that you write down that's on your piece of paper, some guy got those characteristics.
mhm,
You just got to be patient, pray about it, and God send you who you want. But you don't have to settle for less. I was telling them like I just want y'all to be CEOs. I want y'all to be bosses of your own businesses and things like that. Like, but don't keep no man up. Like my husband know that too.
mhm.
I see. We talk about these situations. We have these hard conversations. And like, oh, what if I lose my job? Like, tomorrow and this and that. And third. I'm like, well, you ain't staying here. you know, and he
But
already know, like in his head,
that's a part of better for worse though,
it,
because
it really is. It is. However, it depends on what went on. Now you just, just losing and not having something lined up. Now that's a problem. But I don't know. I'm still firm on that because he's like, you already told me like, if I can't have no job, I can't be doing this and I can't do that. I said, you damn skippy because guess what? I'm not. I'm not keeping no man up. I know, like I'm married to them, and it's for better or for worse and everything. But listen,
I'm
okay?
just saying that because life happens. So if he lose, if he was to lose it, you just gonna put him out just like that because he done lost his job?
No, but I'm saying like you're not gonna be a bum, because
Oh yeah,
some people like if some people, men or whatever, whoever, you lose a job or whatever, you start like feeling yourself, playing PlayStation, this and that, third, and then you sitting around in the kitchen and stuff, ain't looking how it's supposed to do. Now, I ain't saying my man ain't gonna do that, but see, that's what I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about my
right,
man. I'm talking about a situation that may happen.
right.
If I was to like, if he was to do something like that, like you gotta try to be doing something. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
mhm.
But not just be being a bum around the house. Cause, my money's what I'm bringing in here and you ain't bringing nothing.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's a different story, right? Because it happened to me. And I'm going to say this because the different story is out, Not, I ain't saying like, well, I guess, yeah, losing jobs and this and that third, but that was during pregnancy time, you know.
Okay.
Now I should have sued, but I didn't because I didn't know at the time. But um, and then I started working nights and stuff like that, so I could be home with my kids because I wanted that preference because I wanted to be the one raising my kids. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And that's another thing about me. Like, I never saw myself being. First of all, I never wanted to be a mom, and I never wanted to be a wife. But stuff happens, you know. And here I am being a mom and also being a wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see that stuff for me because I was always the babysitter of the family and always had the kids and all this type of stuff. So I didn't see those things, but here I am. But I also knew that I had those characteristics because I had the experience with my nephews and nieces,
Mm-hmm.
that I was going to be a great mom. And I also knew that I wanted to break all those cycles that I didn't like. And part of that cycle was, I don't know, I'm just old school. If I'm in a relationship and I'm having a kid, I want to be married. Now, I'm not, pushing him and like, oh, I want to get married. I want to do this and then that, this and that and the third. But if you want to build this foundation and you want to build this, what a this family, and I'm giving you what you want, you got to put the work in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all of these things that I had weren't goals that I was striving for, like something that I want to be. It was something where I lay down
Mm-hmm.
and you either abide by it or you see your way out, because I'm not going to settle for those things that I'm not going to get. And I know I wasn't trying to be a baby mama. I definitely
Right.
knew that.
That wasn't either. That's what I was
That
about to
wasn't, yeah.
say.
So, and we had these conversations before I had, start having our first child. Then it became my second child. How many kids you want? That's why I only got two, because he said he wanted two kids. That's all he was going to get. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, I gotta put that period or exclamation point at the end of something. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if that's what the goal is, that's what we're going to strive and that's what we're going to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to, and it has to be set in stone. We're not going to back, pat it back, whatever you want to call that, then double back and be like, oh well, I want to change this, oh I want to change that, because some of these things, like kids, you can't change.
Right.
So you
Right.
either be in it to win it, or you could be in it for the long run, longevity. That's the word I was looking for, longevity, or you can leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the thing of, and I know I'm going off topic because that wasn't the question, but that's another thing that we were going to touch base on anyway. But is what do you lay down for these rules for these men in the beginning of a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
for you to for your relationship to succeed, for you to be that person to say, okay, these are my accomplishments that I want for us to achieve together. This is what I want from you, this is what you need from me, things like that. You gotta lay that stuff down. You gotta have those hard conversations, because if you don't, it's going to be chaotic. That's why relationships don't last, because they don't communicate. They don't tell that person what they need and what they want and what they can give to them. And it's all about giving and taking a relationship. I don't care what relationship you're talking about. It's
I would
just,
say, and then sometimes you can do that. I mean, sometimes you can communicate and then still not have those needs met.
that's
I
true.
mean, that's
But
just
that's why I was saying give and take. Some people be like, oh, you want to, take, and you want to give. But what's that game when you tug of war? You playing tug of war with yourself and with your partner or whatever. But that's how I lay down my foundation. That's how I lay down what I expect in my life to end up. And if you couldn't follow that, then bye bye. But it ain't come that way. So I mean, like I said, like the reason why I say it is bye bye, because we all date, right? And then
mm-hmm.
we get in the vibe with people who don't see the world the way we see our world in and up.
Right.
And again, that's how relationships end, because people don't put the work in. You gotta continue that work. And I was actually still again talking about this yesterday, because like you gotta, like, okay, so I think, let me see. Yeah, about 3 years. So I would say 2.5, because like, or 1 and 3 months, whatever. Because you're pregnant for 9 months, whatever. Because I didn't have my daughter till we was 3 years in a relationship, so that means it was at least a year and a half or two. Now, me and my husband, I was about to say boyfriend, me and my husband, were also friends first. Like, I would call him, we would just chit chat and this and that third. Now, we wouldn't hang out, nothing like that, but we would call, have deep conversations, and I would, make scenarios up, and I still do to this day, to see what his outcome of that situation would be. If I like it, okay, you get some cool points. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get some tallies. If I didn't like him, like, yeah. But, and I wouldn't even say like he was playing games and this and that third, because he didn't want to feel hard for me. Okay. um. So I don't think it was that. I think he still needed to find himself before, um, you know, going all in. If that makes sense.
It does.
Because it was like a piggyback thing. Like, he would go all in, and then I was like, yeah, I don't know. Because I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out in the beginning. So then when I was all in, he was kind of 1 foot out and 1 foot in. And then we came to an agreement. You know what I'm saying? Because then it was like, well, because sometimes people think like, oh, she out of my league. You know what I'm saying? And I feel as though that's what my husband thinks. And yeah. So when that happens, it's like, okay, are you serious or are you not serious? So then, we have to have that conversation. But then, yeah, we wound up being serious. So, but yeah, like I said, I lay down what I wanted, and it was either you can come forth with that situation or you can't. So, and again, with the kids situation, he wanted kids. He also was up with two, and two of them, and I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna be in this longevity relationship. Then okay, I'll agree to that. You know what I'm saying? But I also was like, okay, now what we doing here? Because this boyfriend and girlfriend thing ain't going. You know what I'm saying? So then it was like, then that's when marriage came, and I'm like, yeah, I need to bring this up. You know what I'm saying?
I was just like, yeah, because like you
So
said, I never planned on being a baby mom either. So it was like once the kids started coming into play, I was like, yeah, so yeah, what we doing? Cause
yeah, because it ain't about to be like,
yeah,
it ain't gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all need to have the same last name here now. But
even though it took me a minute to change my name, but that was because I was in school and all that kind of stuff. And that's what you know that. Well, you know, because you changed your name.
yeah,
You know how hard that
yeah, I
process
know.
is to change everything over. And I was just like,
Girl, I was ready for that maiden last name. I was like, pew. I was ready, because I was like, you know what? I ain't putting this last name up in fame. Like, when I blow up one of these days, it ain't gonna be that one. So, but that's not why I got married, though, for real. But I did get married for the right reasons. So I don't want y'all to be thinking like, oh, she just got married because she want the last name. Like, no, that is not it. Because my kids was always gonna have my husband's last name anyway. So,
right.
and I always wonder like why my mom did that, but then I'm like, girl, no, you should have given me yours. But for me, I know why I did, because I knew that they had a great dad. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But yeah, so to answer the question, I know I keep going back into the question and going off, but I don't know. I think it's a tricky situation, because at some point I'll be like, you know what, y'all can go on with your dad. But then again, it's like, I don't want to have them all to myself either, because then it's like, you free and you can do what the heck you want to be doing, but not dating. Because like I said back then, we did make a pact, because he was like, you know what, he already knew my situation anyway. Like you said, like your husband, we didn't grow up in a 2-parent household, but my husband did, and he never experienced that. He never even experienced, having siblings under the same roof. He had to figure that out too with the kids.
Right.
Yes, because he like, that's how y'all was acting. I'm like, yes, that's why it gets on my nerves. Like fighting over a toy
That's how my husband and his siblings act, because we were good kids. So the way they act
yeah,
on
like
this side of the family,
it's like, dang.
my nerves.
And I'll be so glad my husband don't have no siblings. I'm like, because I don't know if we would have last. Because if he had a sister, yeah,
I don't have no issues with my sister-in-laws at all. We never did.
yeah, but I think I would.
Really?
I think I would. I know for a fact I would. Okay, I'm gonna just leave that there. You see my eyes. I'm gonna just leave that there. But I think I would. I wouldn't try. You know what I'm saying? But I think I would because I think they would be because he the oldest. So and they would have been the youngest. So I think they will be overprotective of him, even though it's supposed to be the opposite way. Be like, oh yeah, that's my brother and this and that. There, you can be doing this and that. Yeah, I think I would have had a
Yeah, and
problem.
my sister-in-laws are older because my husband is the baby. He's the only boy and the baby. So they're
But them young ones would get jealous. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
Yeah, so I think I would, especially from the history. Yeah.
And I think with us, I think even with us coming from different backgrounds, well, just like you, this was our first marriage. So I
Mhm.
think I don't know if I don't know what his idea of marriage like really was, but
Mhm.
I think that's kind of how we had conflict because like me, I'm on a like you tight ship, straight and narrow. I don't like to procrastinate. I'm thinking of stuff ahead of time. I'm looking into things
Girl, yes.
where he's more spontaneous here and now and he's only thinking about the here and now, and I think that's where we butt heads a lot because I'm like, listen, we gotta do this and this and this, and he's not worrying or thinking about that, and then he's like, well, you trying to be like trying to be my mom. No, I'm not trying to be your mom, but I'm trying to make sure we on the
Mhm.
straight and narrow because we got goals and things to accomplish. So I think a
Right.
lot of that played into how we had conflicts and stuff. 'Cause I guess for him, it's kind of like an ego trip. Like he's
The
like, I'm the
parenting.
man. Yeah, I'm the man. Da 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 da. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like
hmm
we still gonna
Yeah,
do it this way.
we sometimes we gotta let them think that.
Right.
You know
But
what I'm
but
saying?
I had to tell him like, this is both for our first time being married. We've never been married before, so we're this like
Right.
you said, it's continuous work in progress. And I think now we're at the point where well, I've always kind of realized that, but I think he's finally got to the point where he's realized it, and so
hmm
it's getting better now. And I think it took for me like actually for us separating to for him to realize that because I think before I kind
hmm
of felt like he kind of took me for granted and didn't really appreciate me and everything that I brought to the table. So I think
hmm
once I like
Like
let
what?
just like being there for the kids, making sure the bills and stuff is paid on time. It's like, yeah, you're working and you're bringing
hmm
in the money, but I was the actual one putting the money on the bills, making sure they
Right,
got
right.
paid and holding all that up. So then once I left, he had to figure all that out, and then it was like, oh, she do that, or like the kids' birthdays, they clothes sizes, what grade they in, what classrooms they going to, like
Mm.
all that stuff. You don't realize that I do, and I'm working, so you're not
That's what
really.
I'm saying. That's why we talked about that before. Like, what moms, we got that goal, that mind is on go 24/7, and they don't really be lost in the sauce. Like for me too, my husband had to figure out um, when they go, not even figuring out how to go to the doctors, but like actually taking them because I
Right,
always, did it and had to figure out, okay, well, you on this medicine and that medicine, you got to pick this
right,
up. Um, feeling lost in the sauce. Now I'm feeling lost in the sauce because he taking them, and I'm like, well, what the doctor say? What? You know what I'm saying? I don't like feeling like that, but I get it. As long as he come back with the information, then I get
right.
it. But now I'm like, damn. My husband had this situation, and yeah. But I ain't sweating it because that took a lot off my plate. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
So now he's more involved in that type of situation because, like I
right.
said, now when it was babies and stuff like that, we all would go together. But as you know, like we said, we took on those roles,
Hmm.
and I always think about that question in my head: who said we had to change? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But it's just
It's
our
natural.
instincts. Yeah, it's natural for us to just go with it and do it because that's what mothers do, and the fathers,
Hmm.
they got to figure it out. But I'm like, you need to figure that out now because I could be dead today or tomorrow, and
Right,
if I need to know, and I need to be in peace, okay? Like I said, I'm gonna
right,
replace you with peace. I need to be at peace,
right.
okay? To know that you're capable of doing the same thing that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, and if you don't, I'm haunting you. I'm coming back. And I mean that. I'm coming back. So I warned him. So he can't say like when he find his, he can't find his keys or whatever. He don't know where they at. He be like, oh yeah, Keish did it. Where my keys at, Keish? Yep, because I'm doing it. But yeah, that's why I say I still got mixed feelings though. Like, but I don't. Okay, so I think my mixed feelings would be like if we would have to go to court or whatever. I don't want the court to decide and dictate what needs to be done. But we all grown here. You know, you the father, I'm the mother. We can work this out.
Right.
But as soon as you ain't doing what you supposed to be doing, then I guess we're gonna have to go there. But that being said, it's like, okay, we would do like what y'all was doing, like working it out, like, okay, I have this week, you have them that way. And I think we will alternate the weeks because I cannot just go straight, like 2 weeks, the weekend, you have them for a whole week. No, I think we would do a week or maybe day. I don't know. 2 or 3 days a week. I don't know, 7 of them. So 7 days in a week. We're going to get partial. And you know what, too? I have a friend that still does things with her son's father. And I love that. It's no hate, it's no, animosity between them. They still go on vacations. They still, still be there and doing like they together. And I'm like, girl, I love that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of relationship that I would want.
Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all did it too.
Our thing, we would still like the boys had soccer practice, so we would go to soccer practice together, or we would go out to the movies and do things together. Like we still did things together, even though we were because at the end of the day, we still wanted the kids to.
That's what I'm saying. I would fake it till I make it. To be honest, like nobody would even know that we are divorced or not together anymore or whatever. Because I think I still would want to do that. Not even think. I would want to do that and do that for the kids. And that's also would avoid. Well, I know it would have that. It would have that avoidance of, I'm trying to seek and call and this and that and talk to him and there and all that type of stuff. And because we're going to be always together, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like you said, you can't control people. But like I said, I think we have an understanding. People, like I said, people think I'm crazy because I said we made a pact, but I think we both on the same page on that because, like I said, he won't want no other girl coming in telling his kids what to do. Well, I won't want no other girl telling, my kids what to do, and vice versa with the man. And for me, I can't even see if I was to date to have this man, it's like, okay, my kids already have their dad, so you can't tell them what to do. So what's the point of him being with me? So it's like, it ain't no point because you're not their dad. They have their own dad. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, just because you dating somebody don't mean that they are right for you. And also I think about things that those crazy things where they have no kin to my daughters and I have 2 daughters. And that's where trust come in at. You know what I'm saying? Like if he was home and what they doing and I'm at work, I wouldn't do that. Because y'all don't know, people got the minds of their own. And I'm not doing it. So yeah, no. I can't.
And that's why I said because I've been there, I can't say that I wouldn't date, but I wouldn't take nobody serious. I don't think I would be introducing to my kids or do anything like that. I think my main focus, if I did, would be dating like here and there, but my main focus would be me and the kids and making sure they're
right.
Happy.
Exactly. That's 100%. That's why I said like I don't have time for no man. I don't have time to. I don't like. No, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a no for me.
And that's why I said, well, I can't say it's a no for me because I've been there. But like I said, it wouldn't be nothing serious because I wouldn't introduce them or anything. Like it'd be just something for me. If I want to just go out, want to have a date night or something here and there, just to or something, then I would do something like that. But it wouldn't be we getting married, we living together. It would be nothing like that.
I see what you're saying. Just going on and
I guess what they call it, casual dating or whatever, because it ain't nothing like.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be casual dating because are you gonna be dating other people or you gonna be just dating that one?
Oh well, I mean, yeah, that's true too. I
You
mean,
see what
when
I'm
I was,
saying?
that's what I'm saying. When I
Like you
was
still
dating,
gonna be faithful, even though you wanna be dating. Talk about okay, well I got my Monday man, we gonna do this, and we got Tuesday. Like I don't even want to do that because for me, if he's saying the right stuff, like I know I don't even want to catch feelings. I mean, I can turn my feelings on and I can turn my feelings off,
mm,
but and that came from growth. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Um, but I just don't want to. I don't want to feel no attachment. Like you know what I'm saying?
okay.
At all with nobody.
But see, I understand it though because that's how I was like. Even though I dated one person,
Hmm.
like I said, it didn't become serious, which is a casual date. Like we will meet up and have lunch and stuff like that. And
And he's still out there dating, so
I
he
don't know.
wasn't serious either.
I don't know if he was, but it wasn't my issue because I wasn't trying to date him exclusively.
But would you still? But that's the thing too. You gotta think about that too. But like, are y'all going to be intimate?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Then you ain't got nothing to worry about.
That's what I'm saying. As long as it's that understanding, and that's what I said. Casual date, go out to eat, something like that, and then that's it. I don't need because with that, even though you could turn
Well,
your feelings
that's a
on,
friendship, girl. That ain't even dating.
oh look, it could be a friendship. That's fine too. But I'm just saying, with because once the physical come in, then that's feelings. Even though you could turn your
That's what I'm
feelings
talking
on,
about.
it's natural for us to start to get, So no,
Yeah, I don't
no,
want to do that either because
no
I'm.
possibility.
I
That's
would
why I'm like.
feel. I
I'll
would.
give
I
you that
would.
option. That's what I'm like. I'll let you know from the beginning what I'm expecting. If you're not okay with that, then you can keep it moving. But if you good, then
Girl, because you know they gonna keep it moving. They ain't getting no yams.
that's fine. Look, you can find somebody else that can happily give it. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Get some potatoes somewhere.
Right. Right.
You gotta get something, but yeah, I ain't doing none of that. I ain't doing no dating, no hanging out. First of all, I don't know you. You could be a serial killer. I don't know. Because first of all, I just watched
You can watch too many
Resident.
Tom Cruise.
What you said?
So you can watch too many Tom Cruise.
First of all, that wasn't even Crown. That was Resident. Okay, aren't you watching that?
Yes.
Well, that was. I think I'm on the last season. Yeah, he up there. First of all, she told him, she said, don't be picking up no hitchhiker. Well, he did anyway. It was might have been a serial killer, but he lucky. He didn't get killed.
Mm,
But yeah, you're right. I do. I do watch a lot of crime shows. But that's why you gotta meet in public places
exactly. Exactly.
with a lot of people
Exactly.
and come in separate cars. But don't let him walk out with you. Just act like you want to the bathroom and then you leave. Girl, and don't give him the real number because then he gonna be a stalker. Oh, girl, it's a whole bunch. You want to get a burner phone for that. If you,
But that's why I said I'm glad in our case, even though we did separate, that we did get back together and we decided to both to mutually work on things and really try to, keep our marriage together. So I am happy in that
yeah,
aspect.
I think I would. I don't know, cause for me, like I'm cut and dry. Like I'm set in stone. So I don't know if we would break up and then get back together. Cause it's probably like basically okay, you just living your own thing. Because again, we still gonna be doing stuff to like we never broke up in the first place. Then we also talked about, not even thought about it. We also talked about like if we did break up, are we still living like roommates? You know what I'm saying?
No, I left. I moved out.
So yeah,
So I mean, as I said, we still did stuff together. Like and then like, holidays within those 8 months, holidays like we still spent holidays and stuff like that. But I didn't live here. I was on my own, doing my own thing, which I liked
yeah,
because it was peaceful too. Like, not saying that it's not peaceful now, because like I said, being as though we're working on it now, it's getting better. But I was definitely at peace for those 8 months because I had
and yeah. I'm looking at you because I told
on
you
my
like
neck.
I'm replacing with peace.
I am on my neck, in my face every single day. So
Yeah,
it was peaceful in that aspect. But then I missed them too. That gave me room to miss them.
that's what I'm saying. When you up under your man all the time, you be like, dang. I gotta stay with you all the time. But no, I like it. I do. And I'm not even going front because I just actually told my husband that because, when he off, I'll be like, well, dang, I thought you was going to be up my ass. Like, I'm bored over here. Sometimes.
Hmm.
So I'm still getting into my like my lovey dovey, Keish sometimes, but then sometimes I'd be like, oh, can't stand you. Like, and you gonna go through them phases, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
That's life. But yeah, yeah. But like I said, um, I just was brought up differently. Like I'm at the point in my life, like I'll be like I'm in a point in my life. People like, well, girl, you still looking young. I am, but I'm also like more mature of like my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because you know when you older and you start getting your feelings hurt and stuff like that, you start thinking about stuff and then you start thinking crazy, like like you just cry all the time. Like I don't even know the last time I cried, like for real. And you just start getting this, you build up this tough skin where it's like, okay, that don't phase me. That's why I always tell my oldest daughter, like, I love that about her, but I also want her to be vulnerable at the same time. Sometimes, because you can't just be bottling up all these feelings and just keep covering them up because one day you're going to explode. And that's what I don't want for her.
And that
So, but I
becomes
love the
stress.
fact that
You don't need stress because then high blood pressure and all the other stuff come from
girl,
that.
yes, and what they say, stress can kill you.
It can. It can.
but
It
um, but
can.
yeah. So I don't know. So I have to think about. It's a lot. So what y'all think? Hit us up in our inbox, okay? In that outmail doc, what is it? Outmail outlook.com. Girl, I can't even talk. Yeah, and give us some fan mail. So yeah, because we want to know your thoughts. What y'all gonna do? So what you think, Niche?
Let's
Anything
see.
else you want to add?
Nope. I about to say because I already gave you my spell.
Yeah, I know that's
I
right.
gave you
Because
insight
you
into
had
me.
both
Like,
worlds.
so.
You always get two pieces of the pie. Like I only get one slice. But that's because, like you said, I'm cutting dry. I just can't. I didn't need one piece, and that's it. Like so, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be a comeback. It depends. I don't know. It
It
depends.
depends on if
First
you
of
really
all,
want it. It depends on if you really want it to work. Because, like, I mean, this is my
yeah,
first marriage, but this isn't my first relationship. I've had other long-term relationships before my husband. So
right.
I've been engaged before I met my husband. So
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on if y'all really love each other and, like you said, if both parties are willing to work on it, then it could work. Because we could have went through with the divorce and just went our separate ways, and that would have been that. Now, once that divorce would have been finalized, I don't think I would have came back. I mean, I've seen that happen too before people get divorced and get remarried. I don't think
Right, right.
I think once it would have been finalized, that would have been done. But the fact that we are still married gave us a chance to kind of work on it.
Yeah. Thanks to that clerk. Yeah, I'm not doing that either. Getting divorced and then remarry, because
No.
no, that's too much. Like, and it, like I said, it does depends on why we broke up in the first place. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. I kind of got a 50-50 thing where I'm like, okay, in my brain right now, what I'm thinking, like, do you deserve a second chance? But then I'm like, well, did I get second chances? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in second chances. It depends because now, like with me being a mom, you giving your kids chances, but that's the difference between
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's got to be in your life that you got to help guide versus then somebody in the street. Now, if somebody in the street did something, like no, you get one chance and that's it. You
Right.
blow it, that's it. Even with family, like I girl, Judge Mathis be saving them because. I watched him the other day. He was like, he brought up a situation was like, well, if somebody did something to you, you quick to forgive them, like as far as a friend. But me, I don't. But he was like, well, you're quick to forgive them if they say sorry. So why you can't say, forgive your family and then love them from a distance or whatever. So I just be thinking about all that type of stuff. And life is too short to be honest. And I'm in that mindset too. So like I can get, deep like in different situations. Like, is it worthy? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I definitely damn sure ain't staying like if cheating and all that other crap is involved and you really done had another kid and yeah, no.
I know. I'm like, I know some people that didn't stay through all of that. Like you said, cheating in other
Yeah.
relations and stuff. Yeah,
Girl loving hip hop.
that's a deal breaker. Like if I know for a fact that you're doing all of that stuff, that's definitely a deal breaker for me. There's no
It
way.
really is. Ain't no coming back from that. I don't care how much we work at it, you work at it. You can kiss the ground I'm walking on. Like, I am not doing that. and you can't put that baby back. Like, definitely no.
Exactly. Yeah, that's definitely a deal breaker. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
So
cheating too because you never fully trust that person again either.
yeah.
Like you won't, and every time like it'll always be a discussion. It'll always be some conflict if if your partner does cheat. Like that's something hard
Mm-hmm.
to come back from too. I mean, yeah, that's why I said me personally. That's why I said both of those would be deal breakers for me. If I found out he was cheating, we good, and if especially if there's another baby coming along with me, not only did you cheat, but would have been in row. Like we definitely done.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Absolutely not.
there's no coming back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just because I feel like if you're willing to risk, messing up your family like that, then you don't deserve to have another chance. Because you already
That's
know,
what I'm
like that's a
saying.
decision you're choosing to make. So you already know what the outcome can be if I was to find out. And so you're choosing to make that decision anyway. No matter what the reason that you're doing it for, you're still choosing to do it. At the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, like you don't want your family if you willing to risk all of that for
Yeah, you gotta really build them foundations and have them crazy talks. You just gotta know who you're dating, who you're messing with, their background, and meet these damn parents and families and see how they vibing. Okay, like we talking about life and what life and in Keisha needs. Life be life, but you gotta see that vibe. See, you know what I'm saying? You gotta feel that vibe and see how they vibing. Okay, now don't be stealing my little quote now. but but yeah, you gotta know what you're dealing with.
mm-hmm. You
You
do.
know.
You do.
You really do. And you gotta figure out like, even when them babies start coming, like, are you really gonna be there babysitting? Thought about that too, but never mind. But I just took it all over. And some people can't deal with me. And I accept that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, I ain't worried.
Listen, that's why you. I say that's why you always at the other side of the world, basically.
For real. Yeah, and I'll stay there too, right by myself, me, myself, and I. I don't play games. Like I don't have a tolerance.
Because, like you said,
But
like
guess what? That's why I got the man that I got. Right?
there you go. Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay.
Listen.
Listen, most of some of these girls and what they going through.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I
Mm-hmm.
be like, I cannot deal with that because I can't shut my mouth. Like I got a mouth. Like you're not gonna shut me up. You can't. Like I don't know how they dealing with it. I hope they get out of it, get out of some of these situations.
Personality.
But you gotta want for yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta want better for yourself, and you gotta, you know, see yourself how you want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
And you gotta have respect for yourself because if you don't respect yourself, nobody else is gonna respect you. So you gotta have
okay,
those boundaries, and you really gotta stand firm on them.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
don't go back on them because I don't go back. That's why I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm willing to take them back.
But that's what I'm
Ain't
saying.
no turning back. Done had me.
But that's why I say it depends because, like I said, in my situation, we both actively worked towards we put the action and not just talking.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you never know.
Yes.
You never know.
Mhm.
I mean, you could say no, but you know why you got married in the first place, and you know you love him. So,
Yeah, but if we have that break, yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm really, aiming on that. I'm gonna replace your ass with peace. Cause now I ain't gotta hoop and holler at you, worry about what you doing, what you ain't supposed to be doing, and all this type of stuff. Like,
no, I get it. I get it.
listen,
I get it.
cause they men, you gotta be on them.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
anyways, thank y'all again for listening to our episode. Cause we'll keep going on and on about this one topic because yeah, it went over. But anyways, make sure y'all hit us up on our social media. Make sure y'all send us the inbox. Let us know what y'all want to hear, what y'all want to talk about, and what y'all want us to answer. Okay, so make sure y'all subscribe too, so
Yes,
y'all can listen to
definitely.
us. while y'all driving and in that traffic and them people blowing their horn acting all crazy, you could be cracking up at us
Yes,
and getting some knowledge.
yes, getting your life.
Okay? Because
Yes,
life be life.
yes.
See y'all.